My friends, my brethren, my fellow human beings, I got a message that I'd like to share with you, not that you don't know it already, but that it is appropriate for me to share it with you. The message is this, ladies and gentlemen. It's about eliminating poverty from this country, from this world. I would have thought that the creator of this world would have made it possible for you to know this message. And over the years, I've learned that you don't know it. Most of you. I have to say most of you because there are a lot of geniuses in the world. And I don't want to think that I'm the only one who has been revealed this message. But poverty exists at the hands of all of us, the people. You know, the world as it is, basically, was like this when we came into the world. And so we don't really know what difference is required or can be, except somebody else knows and bring us into that knowledge or that understanding. Now, I would have thought that the preachers would have told you this, but I have found out that the preachers don't know this. Also, I must tell you something that might cause you to turn this program off or this information off, but you got to know it anyway. You have been told that a preacher's responsibility, because of his love for God, is to do the things that he does. However, you've also been told by the Bible that how can a man say he loves God or wants to please God when he does not want to please you, the human beings that he sees every day? And some preachers have translated that into meaning that they want to save your soul. But I take that a little further. How can a man want to save your soul someplace you go afterwards and have no compassion for your life and where you're at today? So the only good I can see that comes out of a preacher is what he can rip the people off of. Many of them just talk about stuff they don't really know what they talk about, and they got one or two members in their churches because they come out of tradition. They don't really know what they're going for, really. And you got the big ones who are reaping in billions and have jets and all these kind of things. I'm not going to go into all of that. And they got you convinced that God is blessing them. God is not blessing them. You are blessing them. Now, what have I said that for? Because many of you think that you came from a big bang. And so you believe anything. Some of you think that you evolved from an ape or a fish. They can never get you to believe that an ape evolved from you or that a fish evolved from you. Because if they did, you say, well, man exists, so how can apes evolve from you and man still exists? Or how can a fish evolve from you if man still exists? But you will never ask the question, how can you evolve from an ape when apes still exist? Or how you evolve from a fish when fish still exists? That's all because you haven't been taught to think wise like that. Now back to my point. Everybody in this country, everybody on this earth, you are here not because you were promiscuous in sex. I mean, that was an avenue. But you were here because the creator of the whole universe, and when I say universe, I'm talking about everything that our senses can conceive of. The creator of that breathed into you a breath of life. Now, unlike us, the maker of the whole universe and us cares about us and prepared on this particular earth that all human beings, that all living kind, animals and insects and everything that exists on the earth have a way to survive. A way of food, a way of clothing, a way of shelter, a way of education, a way of health care. All of these things are coming amongst us, and we need them to live and to have a better life, every last one of us. But the Creator was smart. He instilled in each of us something that we love doing, a gift, a talent, something that we can do to contribute to the creation of all these houses and all these shelters, clothing, and all this food, and all this education, and all this health care. He made it possible that every human being on earth can have a career, can contribute, and there would be no unemployment. We might have a different name for it, but everybody would have something to do. Everybody would feel significant. Everybody would be important, and everybody put their hands to the plow, and all of the stuff that comes from it belongs to all of us. Now, that's the way it's supposed to be, but that's not the way it is. The way it is that there are those who feel that they are bigger, that they're better than you, that they deserve more than you, and that they are superior to you. And as a consequence, as a result of that, they exploit you. But that's only one part. The other part is that those who are exploited allows it to happen. Now, why do you allow it to happen? Either because you don't know any better or you're fearful. I come to tell you about the power that made you, so you can eliminate that fear. If the power was able to make you and provide for you, that power was able to keep you. But you got to represent that power. You can't represent that power by being a coward. You can't represent that power by continuously being poor when that power made it so that you could be wealthy. When I say wealthy, I mean having your desires met. Now, I'm going to try to shorten this up a little bit. It is the responsibility of city employees. It is the responsibility of government at the city level, the state level, and the federal level to guarantee to every citizen that their will, their collective will, is carried out within their realm of responsibility. Food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, and jobs. It is the responsibility of your government. And where do they get that responsibility from? They get that responsibility from you, the people. In every city in this state, all of the people of the cities should be concerned about one another. They should be concerned to the extent they go to their city government and says, this person is suffering a lack of this or that, identify it, and it must be met. It becomes the responsibility of the citizens and the city government to exercise everything that's available to them to make sure that the desires and the needs of these citizens at that level is met. And when they've done all they can and can't do anymore, it becomes the responsibility of the cities to take their shortcomings to the state. And all of the people of the state empower the state officials to do what is necessary to meet the needs of the people of that state. And when I say that state, I'm talking about every state in the union. It becomes the responsibility of the state governments, 50 state governments, to take it to the federal government and say, this is where our people in our state have shortcomings. And it becomes the duty and the responsibility of the citizens and the government of every state to empower the federal government to do everything it